What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer. As you guys can see, we have a package here to unbox. Got the blue alien on deck. Okay, so this is the Eachine E019 Air Force. 2 ways to fly, it says. Now, I saw this on the RC Sailors channel, and immediately I thought of this guy right here. This is a total rip of this Air Hogs guy here. This is the Air Hogs Extreme Airboard. For those who don't know, you can get this at your local Walmart or Target. But Eachine, the master of cloning, has brought this one. So I was very interested in seeing how this thing flies and all. On the RC Sailors channel, this looked pretty cool, but very familiar at the same time. I just had to get it based on how nicely this thing flew. And so let's set the box back here. We have a very thick instructions manual. My guess is that, yes, indeed, it's in more than one language. So the instructions manual is, well, multiple languages I can see here. So let's see if we can find the English side of things here. Is it even in English? Okay, so the very beginning it's in English. Very detailed English. Pretty understandable. So enough of that. Let's get into this guy here. So the character comes separately, packaged here. Let's pop him out of this little prison there. There he is. We have 2 props here, just loosely floating around in the box. I don't know if they give I hope they give us 4, but the Air Hogs version only gave us 2 as well. So this is the little guy here. Has a shirt and tie on with army colors. Let's try to sit him there. And let's pull this thing out. So let's pull out the transmitter. So the transmitter is surprisingly light. Feels pretty nice though. Altitude hold is present. Auto takeoff and auto landing. Power on and power off button. We have 2 trims here, 2 trims here. And this looks like the stunt button, demo button. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe this turns the quad off if you're in an emergency and you need to shut the motors. And this one here, I have no idea what this one does. This might be the speed. So this might have different speeds. Now, the Air Hogs version didn't have any speeds. It was just one speed, which was fast. But you were able to switch the orientation of how this thing flies. From what I understand, you can do the same with this one as well. Let's compare the transmitters. They're pretty close in size, I guess. And, well, enough of the comparison of the 2 transmitters. Let's look at this here. So let's look at the board. The board seems a little larger here, but they have the same size props almost. The paddles on the props on the Air Hogs version looks a little fatter, a little wider. So I don't know if that's going to equate to better flying for this one. I'm definitely going to compare them. This one is a little larger in its footprint. The one thing that I was pretty happy hearing is that this one has a removable battery now. So let's see if we can get this battery out of here. Ah, man, it's a weird battery though. So this connection here is usually the part that's on the quad. If you guys can see that, this is like the same connection that's usually on the Tiny Whoops of old before we started using the Power Whoop connection. This little connection was on the actual aircraft and not the battery, so they just swapped it around. I guess that's their way of trying to make us buy batteries specifically from Eachine. So in order to really have a good time with these batteries being removable. We're gonna have to swap the ends of it, I guess. But anyhow, let's plug it up and see if we have anything different. Any other surprises coming from this guy? Let's see, there's an on and off switch here. So we have lights on the bottom. And it looks like there's a little socket there for a camera. So that's interesting. This would be awesome to fly as a camera bird. Or what's this right here? Have something oh, that's just a little piece of glue or whatever. But this would be interesting to fly FPV. Hopefully they come out with an FPV camera that latches onto this thing some kind of way. But let's see if the guy sits on here nicely. Okay, so he goes that way. Doesn't seem like it snapped on. Let's see again. Snap on. I don't want to break it. Definitely don't want to break it. Pretty hard to snap this guy on. Ah, man. Looks like this little part here is bending that his heel is supposed to go over. So I'm going to have to work on that. Maybe the quality of this one isn't that great in comparison to this one here. And it looks like they're not going to be swappable as far as sitting on each other's board. This guy doesn't snap on here. His legs are a little wider. The legs on the Airhogs version is a little wider, so his stance is different, so he's not going to be able to ride his board and vice versa. Let's see, let's make sure. Yeah, his feet are a little bigger. The Eachine version seems a little lighter, maybe. I could be wrong. The same size, though, in height. So this guy has a competitor now. Oh, let's turn this off. I didn't see any. Okay, we have something under the bottom here. Oh, great. We have more props in here. So a full set of props on this one. Already they're one up on the Airhogs version, which only comes with 2 spare props. And we have this same paraglider part here. Although the Airhogs version is a little smaller. Check it out. Looks a little smaller. Let's toss that to the side. So this hooks up onto here some kind of way. We have a charger here, a USB charging cable here. So we have this connector instead of the barrel connector that comes with this guy here. So let's set this off into the background there. This one's my favorite. But we're going to try out this guy and see if he works once I get him to stay on this board here. It looks like his feet aren't really lining up here, and this part in the rear seems a little weak there. It's kind of bending as I'm trying to snap them on. So I don't know about the quality of this Eachine version of this thing, but we're definitely going to try it out. The next time you guys see this thing, it should be in the air. Let's get it. So we out here with this little guy. Show you guys what it flies like. But I must say I have had the chance to read about this thing, the instructions manual, and see exactly what it does. And I have flown it a little bit. And I can say that this one is lacking one of the modes that the other one from Airhogs has, the original one. But anyhow, I'm going to show you guys what this thing does. Still pretty awesome little aircraft. So let's take it up and check it out. Gotta go up and down on the throttle stick to link it to the transmitter. And this button makes it take off. Hopefully we can control it. Actually, let's go up to high rates because it's a little windy out here. So it took off. Now this one doesn't fight wind as well as the other one does. As you can see, the wind is trying to blow this little guy away. Let's see if we can get it back here. Okay, I was able to fly it back using its side flying capability. And the wind's getting the best of him this time. Looks like. He went down. Let's see. Okay, so I got him back. I think I had this guy backwards. Yeah, this little guy is backwards actually. So let me bring him back in. I don't know why it's flying the opposite way. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it together now. Whoa! This one definitely isn't as good in the wind as the original one. Very challenging to fly this one in the wind. Okay, so let's try to keep it over here. He's doing his best to stay ahead of the wind. Whoa! Really a challenge flying this thing in the wind. Get a close-up of it. I'm fighting the wind to get it this close so you guys can see it. Whoa, the wind's blowing that way. Super hard to fight the wind coming back this way unless I fly sideways. And then it loses balance a little. Oh my goodness. So he took a bad L. Maybe this thing is better suited for indoors. I'm starting to think. Man, and this one is really hard to get back on the little hoverboard here because of the back of his feet and whatnot. It doesn't really want to latch on like it's supposed to. I got one foot in. Okay, here he is. He's ready to take off again. Hopefully he won't meet his demise in the wind again. And it doesn't want to take off anymore. Let's see, we're going to turn it off. Turn it back on. Hopefully that solves our problem. Okay, so we're back in the air with them. And we're losing them. Ah, man. Sheesh. So maybe not a good day to try to show you guys this one. Keeps going down. It's very light though, so I doubt it's going to break or anything like that, but okay, we're on the highest rate and just having problems fighting this wind here. So let's try a flip really quick while we can. I'm scared. I'm afraid to try a flip. Oh my goodness. Sheesh. Sheesh. He's really getting beat up by the wind here. maybe I'll take it out on the side of the ollie there. Hopefully it's less wind on the side of the ollie here. Alright, so let's try this again. It's gonna take off from the ground. Okay, so a little more control here on the ollie. So definitely fun still to fly this one. Let's try flip with it. So that's one neat thing about this one. It flips sideways. I think I still like the Air Hogs version, that the way it flips is different. It flips the other way. But I guess it's just cool to see a different one since I'm used to flying the Air Hogs one. Uh-oh. Yeah, this one isn't as strong as the Air Hogs version either. The Air Hogs version, the paddles on the props seem like they're a little thicker, and so it gets more lift. Let's try another flip. It does do them though, without falling. Okay, so it looks like it's going down. No, it's still up. This one does have a light on it, so I guess that's a plus. There's an LED on the front of it. Man, this one is more of a challenge to fly. Take off again. And one other thing that I think is a little better with this one is the fact that it has a removable battery. And I'm not sure if that's the end of this guy's flight. Let's see. It flashes every time you crash. Nope, still got some flight in it. Uh-oh, the wind's picking up there. And it's going down. And he wiped out. So I guess that's all I'm going to do out here. You guys get the idea of how this thing flies. I guess I'll take it in real quick and we'll talk about it a little. Actually, let's talk about it right here. So the one mode that this one is missing that the other one has, the Air Hogs version has a mode that you can switch the heading to the side here. So you can press forward here on it now the way it currently is. If you press forward, it would fly forward this way. This is the heading here. But with the Air Hogs version, you have something that I call surf mode. And the guy is facing this way, and so this would be the front. So when you push forward, it would fly this way, and that changes the dynamics a whole lot and makes it fly a lot faster. The Air Hogs version flies a lot faster. It handles wind better. It flips different. The Air Hogs version flips this way, whereas this one flips to the side that way. And so yeah, this one is pretty nice. I would say grab this one only if you can't get your hands on the Air Hogs version. But if you already have the Air Hogs version, then I would say grab this. Or if you can't get the Air Hogs version, this one is secondary. I think this one is just as fun, just about, but the Airhogs is a little more fun because you can fly it a lot more ways. You can use the parachute mode. You can fly it what I call goblin mode, flying forward this way, the way that this one flies. But then you can fly that surfboard mode, where this is the front here, and it has another cool stunt where it spins around. It does like a cyclone. The yaw is faster on the Airhogs version. Overall, the Airhogs version is just a little better than this one, but this one is awesome too, though. Pretty neat to have them flying on this hoverboard thing like this, but the Airhogs version just tops it a little. Thanks for watching.